15th greatest tech fact of all time is in 1996, GM made a very good electric car and then did everything in their power to literally destroy it. It's the early 90s, Los Angeles is booming, but there's so many people and so many cars that the emissions were out of control. People started noticing that they couldn't breathe outside and thought, maybe we should look at some EVs. Right on cue, GM showed off a concept car called the Impact. It was sleek, it was modern, it could go 183 miles an hour. Even though they never sold the Impact, it built interest for their later EV, the EV1. Just like the Impact, the EV1 was sleek, modern, quick, it was selling like crazy. Besides the fact it wasn't actually selling. GM only lets you lease this car. Keep that in mind. The California Air Resources Board saw that the EV1 was doing well and told all the other car companies, you need to start selling some EVs. Ford made the Ranger EV. Toyota made the RAV4 EV. And even though the EV1's cult-like fanbase continued to grow, a weirdly organized group of EV haters also started to emerge. You can't tow anything with an electric car. Those charging stations are a waste of our taxpayer dollars. They're not even that good for the environment. Now you hear those same talking points today, but what was weird is the EV1 was popular, but not popular enough to warrant this much outcry. It was because the EV haters at the time weren't actually concerned customers. They were oil companies, car manufacturers, and politicians buying ads to sway public opinion away from EVs. There was so much hate for EVs that the car manufacturers went to the California regulators and said, hey guys, you can't force us to sell EVs anymore because nobody wants them. And the regulators said, fine, just make the cars based on demand. You don't have to sell a certain amount anymore. Now you would think GM would continue to make the EV1 because it still had a strong fan base, but they didn't. They started actively convincing people that were on the EV1 waitlist to not buy the car. And once they successfully convinced customers to not want to buy their car anymore, they told the government, yeah, nobody wants the EV1. And remember how everyone was on a lease agreement? Once that agreement was over, GM didn't let them renew it. They didn't let them buy the car outright. They instead took the car back, brought them to the desert, and crushed them. Why did GM do this? Well, somewhere along the ride, they discovered that EVs weren't a super profitable niche. Car companies make a crap ton of money on repairs. And if it's a good, reliable electric car, there really isn't any repairs to be made. That's the story of how GM killed their own car.